Welcome back, thieves, to the Lucky Die in Kino. Previously, Greff makes a deal with Clemdar, Ivoris takes control, and Mara gets a glimpse into his future. The team prepare to leave the lives they've left behind by giving over the deed to the manor, and glimpse into the future in order to gain an upper hand. With the help of their explosive friends, the three secured the Alchemist's Stone and left before they could be stopped. Have they made a mortal enemy? Is Greff's family going to be okay? And will Giankisso forgive them for ruining his attire? I guess you're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die in Kino.
The three of you, plus your three companions and unfortunately your passed on companion, are basically standing outside the ruins of a building that has just been exploded. Your other druid companion, the hobgoblin, she has wandered off into the night. You can hear screaming and yelling. You are very, very well aware that there are people running towards this direction. These were two pretty big explosions.
Okay, so we need to leave, somewhere not with people. Is there anywhere around that we can fucking dip without interacting with people?
You could do the traditional over the garden wall technique. There are, like, kind of at the back of the area of these big houses that you've just been interacting with, there are, like, high fences and high gates, high walls. You can definitely go over them and, like, make your way through, like, the kind of nice, I say back alleys, but this is a nice part of town, so they're, like, nice back alleys. You could definitely dip down one of those.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, then I want the three of you to make a group stealth check, please.
Oh boy.
Fuck it. Pass without trace. I still have spell slots.
You still have that going, I believe.
Do I?
I think he dropped it because he went
Oh,
unconscious.
you got knocked out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I got my ass whooped, so that would have been... So, pass without trace.
That gives us all a plus 10, right?
Yeah. Because
Nice.
fuck that noise.
Balls.
Oh.
I never, ever want Kaz to meet Squash. Just no.
Oh, God,
Because that's
could
a
you
minimum
imagine?
of 27. That's a minimum of a 27. Fuck that. No, 37. That'd be a minimum of a 37 because it's 17 plus. Fuck that. No, just no. All right, so what do we get? Ivoris.
I got a 9 plus whatever
10.
number. 10. 19.
Okay. Greff.
On a disadvantage, I got a 20, dirty 20 plus 10, so 30.
Cool. And Maru.
I got a 21, if you include the 10.
Okay.
Wasn't my best roll.
You plus your companions, you managed to very easily kind of jump this, like, wall at the back of the enclosure, at the back of the houses that are here, and you find yourself running along a very nicely paved, very nicely stoned alleyway. And it just leads around the back of these houses, and you can hear people just running from those houses and screaming and heading right towards the buildings that have just been blown up, either offering aid and help or just morbid curiosity. But you managed to make it a good distance away where you can feel like nobody around you is panicking or worrying about the effects that just happened. You've outrun the news. You're somewhere safe for a bit. You are in, again, another alleyway just off the side of one of the main roads.
Okay.
Where are we going from here? We need to get out of here. This isn't going to be very safe for long.
We need to make our way back to the portal, right?
Yeah. Sorry, remind me. Do we still have the portal mage on hand?
Shelly.
Shelly?
Shelly's
I was
with
about to
us.
say, Shelley has a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shelley is still with you.
Okay. We just
And
have...
their cousin made it out.
All right, so we just have to make it back far enough that Shelly could get us out of here, and then we're good.
Yeah. Where you like the kind of like they shrug their shoulders like, where do you want to go? Oh shit! I forgot Zed is also with you.
Okay.
Also important.
We can't leave Zed behind.
Nope.
Got everyone here.
He's my favorite irritant.
I want to see Zed and Junkus out in a conversation just the whole time.
No, I'm good, thank you. All right, where am I taking us to?
I mean, I think the best place would be if we just go back to
Sylvana.
Sylvana, right? Unless...
That's the plan.
To the manor.
I can get you to the graveyard. I don't know about no manor.
I think that's about all we need to do.
We could go to the city and bypass the trip. Get right on the boat from there.
We're gonna have to talk about that boat trip.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, get us
How
to the
about
graveyard.
you don't discuss your future problems with me? And Shelley kind of puts their hands out towards everyone who is able to grab hold of them. Shelley grabs hold of Greff's arm, who's carrying the remains of Cortez. And you see that Zed like kind of grabs hold of like the back of Greff's knee, just so that he has something to hold on to as his body gets taken around as well. And with a very quick motion, Shelley has all of you back in the graveyard. Me and Cuz, nice doing business with you. And she kind of like puts her palms upwards and like the pair of them slowly walk away and they kind of like walk off in the direction that is away from Sylvana, not back into the town itself.
Thank you.
You just see them like wave one arm in the air as they're walking away and then, yeah, you're on good terms.
So we're in a graveyard. I think the best idea right now is to put Cortez to rest in a used grave. Nobody will dig it up. Nobody will look for them there.
That's probably for the best.
I don't like doing it. They deserve better. They sacrificed their life for a lot better goal than this, but it's what we have right now.
I don't have the spells needed that I would normally do for this. Well, let's get to it, I guess.
Cortez was one of the druids, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I think Greff's gonna... Are there any above-ground mausoleums or anything like that?
Yeah, there would be, yeah.
I think Greff's gonna try to find one that he thinks he can kind of pry open or like get at relatively easily to try to get Cortez in there.
It's fairly easy. Azed has a family mausoleum here, and he says that we can rest him here for the night, and I'll make arrangements. I'll get him properly
All right.
Properly dealt with. Fuck.
Yeah. Once Greff puts down the body of Cortez, he just kind of turns around to Azed and like, thank you for coming back.
He shrugs. Well, don't think it means that I like you, Greff, because I don't. But I guess I owed you a solid for not, handing me into one of your employers. So, yeah.
Look at it this way. It means that you're helping to save the world.
I'm more worried about my own hide right now, to be totally honest.
Your hide is part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah. That's good on the big sense, but now I'm back here in Sylvana, I'm very well aware that,
We've got your boat ticket. Don't worry. You and Jen Kissel will be able to get out of here. Now...
I'm sorry, I'm going where now, darling?
Oh, look who's awake.
You say I'm going on a boat. love the idea, but I don't think that there's going to be anything there for me. I can make an absolutely killer cocktail on there made of various rums and even some seawater. But darling, I don't need to go on a boat. What am I going on a boat for, Greff?
To get away from Kino and the initiative.
See, I clearly took a bump to the head because it sounds an awful lot like I'm in trouble.
You are not per se in trouble. You are probably in the least amount of trouble out of all of us. But if anybody as much as saw a peek of you, you are very easily identifiable.
They look down at their very not incognito attire.
I wasn't going to say anything, but...
Well...
Mara just kind of shakes her head. Fuck, I almost said Kaz.
Well, how about, now this isn't the most glamorous place to have this kind of conversation. Out in the open, I totally agree. Whatever it is you're planning now, we should probably not talk that right here.
I think it best that we head back to the manor.
Because, you know...
Greff kind of looks at Mara when he... Sorry.
No, carry on. He's talking to himself.
Greff kind of looks to Mara and like... I'm not sure we can go back to the manor. About 2 or 3 days ago, my memory, I think it was yesterday, we killed a high-level kit officer. That person has almost 100% been brought back by now, and they almost 100% have the whiff of us. And that damned cleric, he's alive and well, and he knows what we look like. I don't think we have much more than a couple of hours until they absolutely know for certain it's us.
So you're saying we need to go somewhere that's not going to be so easily found then?
Yes.
Where's the nearest Earthdark tunnels? Besides the mountain.
The mountain.
Besides the mountain.
That would be some distance south. Like, you're talking like more than a day or so travel.
Would I know if there are tunnels beneath us?
There are tunnels, but they're not like the Earthdark tunnels. These would be more like the tunnels that you found Shelly in, for example. Just kind of that underground, sewery, former, like, basement kind of areas. It's not really good Earthdark hiding tunnels, if that's what you're looking for. But there are passages down there.
Gotcha. I mean, there are safe havens throughout the city, I'm sure, but the only other thing besides that is I could probably dig us a tunnel somewhere.
I
it's
would
not
think
be very comfortable.
I would think this graveyard is good enough, but I might be absolutely wrong. Is there any kind of hiding spot in the manor, Ivoris, that you would know of? Some kind of a panic room or something?
Do I know of anything like that, B?
Your manor, buddy.
I'll make a roll.
If you want a panic room, buddy, you have a panic room.
Roll for it. I don't just want to say.
Sure, flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
Yep, evens there is, odds there isn't.
6.
Evens there is. You know that in the kind of kitchen area, which is a very typical place to have like a root cellar where you'd keep all the root vegetables, that as a younger person, when you were here and trying to find places to hide, you know that there was a passageway that if you moved this thing and dug a little bit of this earth out, you found some passages back there. It's not big, it's not massive, and maybe it leads out to the sea, but you're not 100% sure. You never really explored that far. You just heard the sea, which is very common for being by the sea. Yeah, there's a place down there that you could hide, but you'd have to like dig back through the wall and then put it back up behind you. But it's doable.
There's places, yes, but why are we hiding now and not running? I don't think we're going to find a place that they're not going to be able to find us. They're going to be able to scry wherever we are.
Right. I guess this place is as good as any. The gods need us. No. I promised the gods that I would help somebody named Cass. They asked me to help them get somewhere. And they asked me to make sure that they got there.
Mara's got a very stone face on right now. Trying their best not to give away anything.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the gods mentioned Ivoris, or did they?
I believe you saw a vision. Yes.
Yeah.
And Ivoris was there.
We have to help somebody named Cass get to the UNT.
The what? Greff, what are you talking about?
So, Ogma Scroll, I've been using it. I've been talking to a goddess, a god, something in between, called
Do
Clemdal.
you know which one?
Clemdal.
Do I recognize that name?
Do I recognize
you can
that
roll a
name?
history check. You can both roll history checks. They're fine.
I'm pretty
Are
sure.
you
I think
religion?
Greff rolled fuck all on it.
Could I argue religion on
Yes,
that?
religion, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Religion, history, doesn't matter.
Never
I'll
mind,
take
it's an
either.
8. Doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah, you have no
I know my
knowledge of
gods.
her.
Ooh,
Correct.
12.
Again, you don't really have any knowledge of who Clemdal is. I'll roll for the other two, though, because they're still here.
Yeah.
And at least one of them spotted your reaction, by the way, Kaz.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Clemdal! I know her. Well, I know of her.
Who's that?
Oh, she's fabulous. Apparently, and like, how beautiful is this? She writes fates in the stars. She's got us a fate.
That sounds very nice.
Now, Greff, darling, sweetheart, wonderful man, why are you speaking to someone as glorious as her when... And, like, he kind of gestures at all of Greff.
That's a fair question.
I'm sorry?
Well, you know, goddess of fate, you know. I make a wicked drink after her, by the way. But you're not really her type. You know, big fate person.
I'll have
One
you know,
tiny little Greff.
I'll tell you right now that my fate is greater than anybody else's. So don't you doubt me.
Greater, Greff. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry, excuse my language.
Okay, Greff.
It might just be the crack on the head I sustained from, you know, blowing up a building for you, sweetie.
I love Judkins.
Are you going to keep going or are you going to shut up?
I was wondering if you were going to answer me.
Mara and Azed are in the background dying.
Azed is also dying in the background.
I said, I was talking with the gods and with Clemdal in particular because we just put our lives on the line to try to save the rest of the gods.
And they told
That's
you to
what
go
we were doing.
fight Yuan-Ti.
I made a deal. I was
You
scared,
made a
okay?
suicidal deal is what you made, Greff. Are you even sure
Okay.
you talked to that
Time
god?
out, peace
You're
out, 1
using
second,
the
please,
thing.
darling. I know you're in a mood, but I need you just to take a second. I don't want to be here now. This is much. And she just like gestures at all three of you. He gestures at all three of you. You mentioned a boat. You mentioned an out. I want to take that. If I've gotten somehow mixed up in all of this, and I do know a little bit about the initiative and the assembly and all that crap, I want out. Yeah, I'm gonna take that too. If that's going, please. Where do we go?
Does anybody remember the boat name and all that information?
Well, are we going on the boat or are we not going on the boat, Greff? There are no Yuan-Ti on the other part of the... across the... The Yuan-Ti are here.
we can't leave yet. The gods...
Ivoris is upset.
Yes, I know. And Greff is very, he's struggling to deal with it, because I don't think Ivoris has ever been upset at Greff before.
Ivoris doesn't do emotions very well, so yes.
No.
He's kind of pacing and looking quite frustrated and trying to think, but also not really. It's clear that he's...
What was it that Greff yelled at you a couple of episodes ago? Get mad, get angry?
I don't know. He's slopping some of the goop from the stuff off of him. Just trying to wring out his clothes.
The Clemdal promised to help us. I don't know if it's thanks to them that the cleric fell under your charm, or if they had nothing to do with it. I don't know. I don't feel like I called upon their boon. I don't know exactly what happened, but I was scared and I made a deal with the gods. I asked them for help, and they asked for this in return. They asked that I make sure that you help Cass get to the UNT.
Did they say why they would need to go there?
No, they did not. They just said that Cass needs to get there. Ivoris, you have every right to be mad at me, and I don't expect you to consider me a friend anymore. But as somebody who has been fighting
me
alone,
to go find a bunch of Yuan-ti.
Yes. I don't know what the gods have.
They'll kill you and they'll kill Kaz. Whoever the fuck, they'll kill everyone, Greff. You need an army for that. You need the whole fucking assembly, initiative, whatever. They're probably working with the initiative. Fuck, Greff.
If you just guide us there, you can leave. I'll take Cass in, and you can leave.
You need to find the person first. Outside of that, though, I understand emotions are a bit high with this. If we need to stay here, then I think it best that we give the stone to one of these two, since they need to leave anyways. Mara holds up the alchemist stone and is just, this needs to leave, regardless.
Yes.
If we can give it to them, get it across the sea so that it's out of reach of the initiative.
You're right.
That's my main concern. I'm just trying to protect my friends.
It was the point of leaving.
I mean, we're going to be in trouble if we stay here. We are going to be in a lot of danger. Even with my connections.
Baskin's never gonna trust me again, Greff.
Why do you say that?
Because I wasn't sure if I could trust him, and I mind controlled him to be sure that he had my and our best interest at heart and wasn't with anyone. Greff. He's just face palming in front of you all and rubbing his head, clearly distraught and thinking that everything's ruined.
Why don't we go to the boat? We give the stone to Baskin, and I'll explain that I've gotten us into deeper shit. But
he's
Ivoris,
get away, Greff. We can't just give him the stone. Will I trust him with it? What if they come after it, Greff? They can find it, Greff.
I don't think it's a matter of finding it. I don't think they would be able to get the stone from him. At least not very easily.
Why would they
Remember
not be
the one
to...
person wanted us to go get the other one from their sister.
Overseas.
Right, that's where this stone would be going to, then.
Not without us.
How much do we know about scrying and how scrying works?
Unless
Arcana checks.
We put a teleportation portal on the boat.
That takes a lot of time.
We
Even I
could
know
be
that.
owed a favor. We could find a assembly mage of sorts.
Symbly mage. Portal mage, Symbly mage.
They have names.
And what do you call magic users?
Wizard, sorcerers, warlocks,
Mage.
druid, cleric.
Mage.
This thing, I'm a
What did you
mage.
get on your Arcana check? I saw the roll.
I only got a 9.
Yeah, you don't really know very well how scrying magic or how... Yeah, you don't really know much about it.
There has to be a way to hide the stone, right? Atnolov was hiding.
Taking it to Skora. Makes it to where they can't get it, Greff. We already know this because they couldn't get the one that's there right now.
But
It's the safe place. We discussed this.
Then why isn't it possible to give it to a set and have him take it across? Why do we need to do it?
Why do you want to attack the Yonti, Greff?
I don't want to attack
Do you realize what you're going to have for that? You deal with the stone.
No.
You deal with the stone. Deal with it. I'm going to find Baskin. Try to salvage something from whatever's happening here.
Maro, join me. Let's catch up with the set and...
John Kisso.
Thank you. Let's try to catch up with John Kisso and the set and explain the situation. I want to give Ivoris some space right now. And Greff just kind of grabs you by the shoulder and starts moving.
You probably feel that Morrow's very tense. They don't look it. They're very tense.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
As you step outside or step to wherever it was you were, you realise that Jankiso and Azed are actually they have wandered off. That was the role. They had a good stealthing away from this situation. They're kind of just at the entrance to the graveyard. They're just kind of waiting and quietly talking with each other, sat on the ground. Jankiso's a little exhausted, and you see Azed is trying to tend to them.
We wander over to them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Hi, you sounded like you were getting into it, so we paced out.
Yeah, good choice. It's not over. But we need the stone off Kino.
All right, then. And he puts his hand out.
Are you sure that assembly, the initiative is gonna be after it?
Assembly, initiative, yeah. But I've also got to get out of here. I mean, as much as I'm willing to, put my life down so you guys get a better position, I think after tonight that's not going to be attainable for you at all.
No,
if you've really got a spot like you think you did, then me handing myself in does nothing to help you guys. So I'd rather be done and I'll make my way over to, is it Discora? I think that's the plan, right? What I picked up.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of information I can give to them over there if they need it. And if not, I know the Earth Dark Tunnels well enough. Oh, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in the Earth Dark Tunnel, sweetheart. Yeah, well, tough. Get over it.
Just depends where you go.
Yes, but then I'll have to learn something fantastical, like more lights, because, sunlight looks really good on me.
There's glowing mushrooms down there. They look very pretty.
You see their eyes go wide? Oh. I guess I hadn't considered that aesthetic.
Morrow, cups their hands together and then does a little bit of druidcraft and unveils, a small bioluminescent mushroom. I'm going to say it's like a light blue. And just kind of holds it out.
They reach over and they take the mushroom, and then they stand up and they go to give you a kiss on the cheek, but they're way too short, so they just kind of gesture you to come down. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. This is fabulous.
Mara leans over for a little.
Yeah. And then Jankissa just sits back down again. You see the blood is beginning to run a little bit, and Azed's come here, and then just begins to tend to the wound.
I ship this.
Maro, can you give me 2 minutes with them, private?
Sure.
Thank you.
You can see Jan Kisso's about to make a lewd suggestion, then just stops. They're done.
Greff waits until you're like roughly out of earshot, then he kind of just goes down on haunches and real quietly goes, if you get to Discora, the humans are trying to build a more equal community. Everybody's welcome there. Gnomes, elves, dwarves, everybody. And their empress, Opella, is a great woman with great plans. I vouch my name that she would welcome you with open arms, especially with the stone. And if you tell her that Greff Peacebleeder is the one who sent you here with it, they will understand and they will try to defend you and help you.
Greff, how does this human lady know you?
Because I come from Discora.
You see Greff, you see Azed kind of like bite his bottom lip a little bit and just like nod like he's taking in the information. Jan Kisso's just blotto, they're out of this right now. Okay.
I'll explain it all when I join you guys. I will bring them both back.
I guess if you come from there, you left someone behind, or did you leave no one behind?
I left a lot of people behind.
You want me to get them a message? Not that I care about you or nothing, but, you know.
No, and I expect that you're going to bleed me dry for it. Yes, that's...
Yeah, of course, yeah.
There's a little farm town just underneath the mountains. The Peace Bleeders live there. If you have a way to get a message there, or if you have a way to go there, just tell them that Greff is out there. And he's gotten himself into a big heap of mess. But it's nothing that a Peace Bleeder can't deal with. It's just taking a lot longer than he expected.
Azed puts his hand out to you.
Greff, is it open cupped or is it a handshake?
It's a handshake.
Thank you. Greff grabs the hand and doesn't crush, doesn't do anything Greff-like. He just shakes.
All right then, Jan Kisso. So I've got places to be. And you don't know where the stone has disappeared to, but it's no longer in view. You can't even tell on his body where it is. And he helps his buddy Jan Kisso up, and they kind of make their way towards the dock. Azed is a smart man. And you can rest assured that they're going to do what they need to do to get out of here when the time comes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ivoris.
Woo!
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm going to go find Baskin.
Okay. Baskin is at the manor.
Oh, he's at the manor? Okay.
Oh, shit.
That's where he was going to be waiting for you, so he's still there. You could definitely get him a message to meet you elsewhere if it's easier.
No, that's fine. I couldn't
place.
remember where we thought we were meeting. I figured we were meeting at boat.
The boat would need to prepare for its trip anyway. So you could definitely find Baskin either, let's say you could find him either on the boat or at Baskin's place, whichever place you prefer.
Ooh. Well, the boat would be awkward because Ivoris has wanted to make a positive impact on the crew, and this certainly is not going to be that. It's up to you, V.
All right, then he's at Baskin's place.
Okay.
It's currently shut down, but you can tell that there are lights up in the kind of the private area that he normally hosts people at. You know, basically his house. You can tell that there are lights and candles on up there. So,
Ivoris will knock politely his way up, passing whoever he needs to pass.
Yeah. As you're kind of going through there and you're making your way up the stairs to Baskin's place proper, you can tell that there are things that have begun to be stored on the stairs, like boxes of this, that, and the other. And it's a bit of actual a bit difficult to get up there. It's very obvious from your even just entering the store below and making your way up this staircase to his place. Things are being broken down or they're being taken to pieces and dismantled. He's clearly in the process of taking things apart. And you can hear a lot of similar sounding activity from the other side of his apartment door. And as you knock, you hear him scurry over, and he opens the door and he sees you and he smiles.
Ivoris he smiles, but he's not able to hide that he's got a nervous bit about him. Hello, Baskin.
Ivoris, come sit. And he closes the door behind you and leads you to you kind of see him push one of the boxes off of one of the sofas that he's begin to use as a storage platform. And he just sits you down.
Why are you packing so much?
If Baskin owns a new place, then Baskin should move.
Oh, of course.
Especially if Baskin is going other places.
You're not giving up the restaurant, are you?
For some time, Baskin will focus on more important things.
Well, Ivoris is kind of looking down and his ears fold back and he's kind of swallowing the fact that he's trying to just come out with what he needs to say. Well, we don't need to leave right away, apparently. I know that you and your crew worked hard on getting the ship ready immediately after coming back. I feel terrible.
Baskin's crew is a good crew.
Yeah, they are. I'm sure. I'm sorry. I didn't know. He
Ivoris
has a very guilty...
has something to say. Yeah, he kind of he does that thing where he lifts your chin up with one finger and turns your head very, very slightly to look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Ivoris, Baskin knows when you're not saying something. We trust now. Remember?
We can't leave.
Tell me.
We got what we needed. And plans changed, apparently, and now we are apparently going to be helping someone get to the Yonti for reasons that I don't know.
He looks a little uncomfortable. Not that Ivoris would necessarily know that, but he's moving a lot more. He's, like he's physically uncomfortable. And he says, does Ivoris have to? Can Ivoris not just come with Baskin?
They need an army. I don't think they realize. They need 2 people for every Yonti they run into. There are 3 of us. What do we even do?
Baskin feels that with the end of the world, we must do what we must. Even if the odds are not in Ivoris or Baskin's favour. Baskin has heard talk since being here. Whatever is coming is big. And it makes the greatest storm we've ever faced but a gentle breeze.
What are they doing?
Baskin does not have the answer. But perhaps Ivoris could find out. If you were successful with your job, you have the stone. Does Baskin need to take it? Is this how Baskin is most useful?
I don't want you to be in any danger with it. They could find you
Baskin can make his ship difficult to find. It is how Baskin has moved people. Baskin is safe. Baskin is more worried for you than Baskin.
So you're not mad?
He shakes his head.
Ivoris kind of like leans over and rests shoulders against Baskin.
Yeah, he just like leans his head against yours. We are in very dangerous times, love. You have to do what you must, and I must. Baskin must do what Baskin must. Else there will be no Ivoris and Baskin in the future. And that scares Baskin more.
Just don't give up on your restaurant. I watched you work very hard for all that you have. And I don't intend to come in here and ruin it.
Ivoris was Baskin's first customer, remember?
You've come a long way. You deserve everything you have.
Baskin won't close for now. Besides, Baskin has to be back soon. And he smiles. If Baskin is going to come get Ivoris again. When Ivoris is done.
Do you know anything about putting runes or hiding runes on a boat?
You see him smile. Yes. Baskin's boat is filled with them.
Is there a teleportation one?
He shakes his head.
What if... I don't know how long it would take. The idea is that if we called in a favor, your boat could be anywhere and we could get away from anywhere. But it would have to be a very secret rune. Away from scrying, away from everything.
Baskin could show you a rune. Something that Baskin and Ivoris make up. You could show someone with teleportation, and that should take them to the rune, whether the ship is scryed or not. That's at least how Baskin knows magic of this type.
There might be something there in that idea. And in case we come across difficulty in scheduling once more, I will, I'll ask, see what we would need, if it's possible, what kind of time we would need, and what the risks are.
Baskin will operate as if Baskin is going on any other long job. If this rune is on me or on the boat, you should be able to find me. Don't die, Ivoris.
Maybe they'll think I'm still on their side.
Perhaps.
I don't like it.
Ivoris shouldn't. We should draw this rune. And is all of Ivoris's friends okay?
They were okay when I left.
He kind of like smiles off a little bit like, okay, Ivoris. Yeah, he basically just goes into like his room and pulls out like something that he can draw on and some coal. And between the two of you, you make this kind of little symbol. It's a symbol that you wouldn't easily forget as the pair of you talk about what this line means and how this is drawn, and like there's this and there's this. Between the two of you, you can begin to tell a story based on this rune. It's enough that if you showed this to someone else and they were to teleport to this, they would have a higher chance than if they were just teleported to a boat on the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
This would up this significantly.
Okay.
All right. So, anything the three of you want to do before we smash you back together to make this work?
No, I think Greff just has an awkward conversation with Marrow. That's about it. I don't feel the need to roleplay that out.
Awkward conversation?
Yeah, just going like,
Hey, bud.
So that cleric, huh?
How's the game?
Pretty crazy, right?
Are you okay? Do you feel okay?
You hungry for some Jello? I'm kind of hungry for some Jello.
Kind of Jello. I like lemon. I don't like lemon. Oh.
Like all other Kino nights, I love Jello, and I don't find it weird at all.
Wait, what? You don't like jelly?
What? That was
I thought you not like jelly.
I love jelly. What the fuck are you talking about? I was
Okay,
making a
all
joke that jelly was native to Kino,
okay.
and Greff didn't like it.
Where's the cabin? Should Ivoris swing by the cabin on the way back and try to get in touch with this? I get them
twins?
mixed up.
Shadow and Maya?
Not the twins. I don't get them mixed up. The two
The assembly.
organizations. Yeah, the assembly.
Yeah, absolutely you could. Yeah,
Okay.
you could swing by there. The cabin is dark and empty. Are you trying to make contact with a person, or are you just going to leave a note for them?
I'm going to try to talk to someone if I can.
Okay. You make your presence well known as you go and like settle into the cabin.
I'm looking
a few
for
moments
like
later,
loose planks on the floor and shit while I'm there, just kind of stomping around. Trying to figure out what this building is to them.
you think this is loose, and you get your hands around the floorboard and you pry it up and you realize you've just broken apart the floor. Like there's no hidden anything here. It's just well watched. You see that there is an Aarakocra that kind of approaches the building.
Hello?
Hello.
You're with,
Yes, don't say the name out loud. Don't be an amateur.
We need a favor. We need someone to very quietly put a rune on a ship at the owner's discretion, of course. Not a secret rune from the ship owner, but a secret rune from everyone else. You understand?
What is the name of the boat and what is the rune?
What is his boat?
It was something Greek.
Oh, V, will you ask the question in character like you...
Okay, I'll rephrase the question in character. Who owns the boat? And what is the rune?
Baskin owns the boat in town here. And the rune is here. It's very, very important that no one sees this.
Are you showing the rune to the Aarakocra?
He's handing him like the folded piece of paper, basically.
Yeah, he takes it, looks at it. You see his eyes go side to side and they kind of like glow a tiny bit, and he returns it back to you. Shrugs. I can do this.
Oh.
No problem.
Oh. Okay. It's very important.
We have a message for you too.
Oh. Shit.
Your faces were seen.
Yeah, we, yeah.
You have been...
Hence the boat.
You have been burned. There is a lot. You have been blamed for destroying 2 buildings in the capital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
almost assassinating a high cleric of Kalimvor. And one of your companions. Not all he appears to be.
How would they know things like that?
Kells has issued information. You are getting on this boat with your friends, aren't you?
Not right away. No.
No.
That's why we need
You
the
are
room. That's
getting on this boat.
Look,
aren't
he
you?
taps the paper and like points it at him. That's why we need your help, please.
Then I will do this now.
I don't have a way to get to I can't teleport. So if there's anything that can help us get there without any more assistance, that would be great. But otherwise, I will look for someone else when the time comes. But yes, we need a way out because we don't know. We have things we really need to do. I don't know why. And I'm not going to tell you about them because...
You see the Aarakocra just like shaking their heads, and you kind of see a little like crinkling at the side of their eyes, like, you have said quite enough.
We can't leave yet.
You are
but we
still
need
new
to.
at this.
Yes. Okay.
When somebody suggests something, you say yes.
Yes. Okay.
You are getting on that boat, aren't you?
Yes.
Good. Then I will see that ship and I will assume you are on it. Good luck, and stay hidden wherever you are going now.
Right.
And with that, the Aarakocra returns, and they actually do head off in a direction that you would recognize as to be towards Sylvana Main.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Ivoris will return.
The three of you meet up. Where?
I was assuming the manor.
Yeah, the manor is a solid place to meet back up. Let's say that you can just kind of like catch each other out the corners of your eyes as like everyone's making their way back towards the manor, so you don't necessarily have to be like within the manor itself to meet back up.
All right.
Ta-da! The three of you are.
So, Ivoris.
Greff.
Maro. Sorry, just wanted to...
He's
Donkey.
avoiding eye contact a little bit. His eye contact is not... you can tell he's still frustrated and confused, doesn't really understand, and isn't very hopeful for what new plan you're coming up with.
Yeah. Again, this is not Greff's plan. This is the god's plan, but...
You walked right into it. You didn't even ask. You were like, yes.
Okay. I understand you don't want to do this. And I think I understand why. The UNT are dangerous and... Yeah, let's just put a period after that.
If I told you you were going to be killed, I was wrong. You're able-bodied. You're strong. They'll use you. You won't be killed. It'll be worse. You as well. You have abilities that would come in handy to them. Signaling tomorrow. It will not be good if we are captured by the Yonti. Not good.
Then we have to be smart. The first thing we need to find out is this cast person and figure out why they need to go meet the UNT. Maybe they're lost. Maybe they're somebody that the UNT are looking for, and for some reason the gods of fate want to bring them to the UNT. Maybe we're doing the UNT a favor.
We certainly don't need to be doing the Yonti any favors.
Hi.
The gods...
I can't tell if we're hearing this high or if this is just Kaz hearing.
This is Morrow.
Okay, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah,
You wanna tell them who you are?
Go on.
I'm a little scared too, especially because I still don't know why I need to go see Auntie.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
What do you mean sorry?
Well, there's a thing that we thought we told you, but obviously we'd forgotten.
Well, we'd left that in your hands.
It's okay, just a minute. So, there's something that we need you to possibly do, and you might need to sit down.
Forge, right?
Yes.
And also a bit more than yes. There's some other things involved in this.
But mostly yes. Yes, you need to go to the forge because there's a thing that we're going to need to maybe ask you to do.
Okay.
So, the gods have plans on how to bleat the thing that's coming for us. And it's not all exactly fleshed out yet, but there are many people around the world who's working on this. There are a couple of people, not many, but...
There are people who are going to help the gods face what's coming. Like, face on. It's big and we need help. We need people to be our champions. We need people who will stand with us. People who can act as our hands, as our vessels for our magic. We can't do this as easily without mortal help, apparently.
And there's also a teeny little matter of, like, there are some onyx things that some gods and avatars and such use, and we need some of those picked up from the Forger of the World. So while you consider whether or not you actually want to help us do this, because it's a really big change, we also need those for the other people who are definitely in it, or at least some of them are definitely in it. Some of them aren't quite so definitely in it, but we need something picked up, and your magic can help them make these onyx things, and, you know, you can decide if you want a champion for one or both of us.
But there is no pressure to do that. But the onyx thing at the Forge of the World is really important, and you are the closest person.
Okay, but why the Auntie?
That's a teeny tiny little problem. See, there are Unity and halflings who are just at the forge.
Are they doing bad things?
And yes, very bad things.
It's where, if you ask your companions, certain people are needed to help kill gods, and that is where some of them have been taken, where they are being held.
So, freeing them would obviously be really good.
Oh.
And they are doing really shitty things.
Where?
Forge of the World?
More details, please.
Well, now there are some things that we can't see. Some things that, we know how there are mortals and then there are gods.
Right.
But then there are also kind of gods of gods. They're called the Sentinels.
And there are places that they've hidden even from us so that we can't accidentally... They have their secrets too. But we are very aware that there is someone who is also heading to the Forge.
Who?
Her name is Tari.
Are they nearby? If they know where it is, can we...
They're a teeny tiny bit to the south. Like, nearly a week's travel.
That's really far away.
Yeah, but they won't... Well, if you follow the path south and then head north for a day...
I estimate travelling speeds and who has what and where, you should just bump into each other. She's a tabaxi and she's looking for people close to her, people that these Yuan-Ti and halflings and the people they work for have taken.
Okay, I mean, if I can get them on our side, that helps. Oh God.
But she's really lovely.
Oh God.
Very fierce, but she's lovely.
Ivoris and Greff, probably just between their bickering, just see Morrow just slowly, like, lower themselves to the ground and just lay on their back and just
they have
stare
that look.
at the sky.
Yeah. You two would notice this very quickly. You'd also recognize it as like those handful of times that you've seen Morrow react to when two people talk in his mind at kind of once, but they're just overloading him with information
This is
right
the
now.
epitome of a panic attack.
Yeah.
Morrow, are you okay?
No.
Okay, buddy. And like Greff like kneels down and puts a hand on your shoulder, like, okay, what's going on? Do you not want to go meet the UNT? Because I don't want to either. And I won't blame you if you want to run away.
No, the problem is we don't have a fucking choice.
No, you still have a
Sorry.
choice. You're not actually part of the deal. It's me, Cass, and Ivoris.
That's not what I mean.
Okay, I'm not following.
Fuck it all.
Sorry.
All right. Morrow, like, sits up and just looks at the two of you and just... I'm sorry, but not sorry that I've lied to you all this entire time. This is something I've been doing for a very long time, and I'm not very good at dealing with stressful situations like this. I get very anxious and I start getting into a panic, but it's just something I got into the habit of doing, but I need you both to understand that this is something I've had to hold on to for a very long time. Please don't hate me. And with that, there is this very loud, like, not loud, but like very audible ripping and cracking and tearing as Morrow's entire features shift and contort, and the skin seems to almost like peel and rip away. And in Morrow's place, there is a very simplistic looking, pale, gray-skinned, featureless humanoid.
Yeah, Greff takes 2 steps back and has like one hand on the pommel of his sword, like just kind of resting there at this point. One hand, V. I can see you doing a silly holding both sides.
Well, you have 2 swords. What do you want?
That's why I said one hand. Yeah, Greff just takes 2 steps back and like puts his hands on the pommel of his sword and just like, okay. I'm gonna roll for something and see if I know what the hell you are. I was not supposed to be in character.
You don't.
All right.
There is no way that you would know.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay. No, absolutely fine.
I mean, there's a chance that Ivoris might, but there's no chance that you would. Sorry.
Oh,
You took the overground
Okay.
route.
what role would it be?
Nature.
21. Damn.
You would have heard and you'd be aware of creatures called changelings, but you don't really know much more than that. You know that they're able to change their features.
Yeah.
Okay. Greff kind of like consciously moves his hand off the pommel of the sword now that he sees that Barrow's not doing anything weird after he changed. Like, okay.
You're one of those. The changey ones.
Their voice kind of comes out as like a windy rasp, and they just look at you and... I am. My name is actually Kaz.
There it is. Oh, fuck.
I'm a changeling, yes.
And what did you do with Marrow?
There never was a Marrow. Or rather, Marrow is me.
Right, I get you. What? Changeling? What is that? What are you?
The best way that I can explain it is... A very long time ago, there was a clan of humans that had gone deep underground, far into the Earth Dark. The Earth Dark is not a very safe place for humans. The Traveler offered them A means of power and protection. A blessing in exchange for worship and service.
This sounds familiar.
Traveler, that's a god, right?
That's one of mine. One of the two. It's why I can commune with him. Shantea kind of stepped in.
Hello.
Ruined a little bit of his plans.
Okay.
I am not affiliated with my people, though. They ran me out.
Sorry.
I have to ask. Why? What did you do?
Consorted with another god.
Blasphemy. Alright. Okay.
I'm sorry to have hidden this, but it's dangerous to show people who I am.
Why exactly are you looking for the auntie?
I wasn't until they decided to fill me in just now.
Please go on.
Apparently, these Yuan-Ti, as well as halflings, are at the Forge of the World, and they are taking people hostage for killing gods. We need to free those people, and there are things there that I need to do. Things to help save the world.
Okay.
There is someone who can lead us there, someone who can help us. If we were to leave and head south, we would be able to encounter them on the road.
Who?
A tabaxi named Tari. Apparently they're looking to free the people as well.
Greff is like puzzling things together in his head. Okay. So you just learned about this studio of yours earlier when you decided to lie down.
I don't deal very well with overwhelming amounts of information at once. Especially not when multiple voices are all involved.
Marrow, I'm gonna tell you this. You're not filling me with confidence on my deal right now.
I'm not sure what the details of your deal was.
Get you and Ivoris to the UNT. Now, I am neither heartless nor a monster, so I will not be leaving you alone there. So the gods knew exactly how far they needed to push me until I had to walk the rest myself.
You probably should have asked for some druidic powers while you were in the deal-making.
I have no idea how to do that, and...
You think I did?
You didn't study or learn this?
No. Shantea just kind of gifted it to me. I can't really call it a gift anymore, I suppose, since, payment is becoming due now.
Hefty price.
They're my friends. I pay it gladly.
This person we're meeting up with, do they say they're powerful? Strong?
I would assume they have to be if they're hunting after the Yuan-Ti.
Oh, great, yeah. Okay, so they are hunting the UNT. That was going to be my next question. Is this going to be peaceful in any way? And Greff gives Ivoris a side glance like, I know they're not going to be peaceful. I was hoping.
I need a new disguise. I can't go around like this. And Morrow's no longer a safe guise for me. I don't know what to go as.
Go as a auntie.
That is an option.
You notice that
Especially if I have
Ivoris has
you.
been kind of like eyeing you, studying, thinking.
I have you as a reference. Do all of your people look like this?
You're looking for Yuan-ti, you've never seen them.
The only one I think I've ever met was you.
How fortunate.
Do your people all have this?
No.
That would make things rather difficult then. I need references.
Out of character. Is there a particular idea of a Yuan-ti that you want to go for, Arch?
I don't know, because, like, Ivoris to begin with threw me Arch off because I always was under the impression that Yuan-ti always looked human, not tabaxi. I always thought that was a thing that you guys...
Yeah, but that assumes that humans are the only ones that engage in dark magic.
It's entirely up to you, because I have a very good way of getting you whatever image you want. So
I don't know, unless maybe like there's like lizard folk or I don't know.
I want to see. Haven't you seen them?
I know what actually Yuan-ti look like.
I saw them. Okay.
Well, depending on which one we're talking about, if you're talking about like a pureblood or an abomination, or. But I think the playable ones are purebloods, aren't they?
Yeah, pureblood would just look like anything.
yeah,
I always thought they
doesn't
just looked
have to be
like
human in
humans.
this case.
There are
yeah, but I mean, I look
levels
like a.
of-
If you go ahead.
Sorry, in the lore, there are like 3 levels of Yuan-ti. The first one, they look like humans. The second one have a much more snake-like appearance, and the third one are completely snake-like. And if I remember correctly, it's actually the first level are the most important ones, if I remember correctly, or the second level.
Yuan-ti.
I don't remember.
They're all purebloods when they start, and then they do all the bad things they do in order to transform into abominations. And then from abomination, I think there's like a 6-headed abomination crazy thing or something else. But I think that level is above what usual Yuan-tis get to, which is abomination. That's kind of their most common scene, outcome, goal, final form.
Yeah, purebloods were the
unless
human
I'm
ones.
wrong.
So, in this world, you don't have to start out as human. Because a lot of different races have done lots of different things and they're very well split in this world.
Right.
They can basically be whatever starting race that we want to make work.
The
Because
dark magic that made Yuan-ti just happened here and not over there with the new race, humans, because they're new, right?
yeah, humans are, it's like in the timeline of the world, there's basically like gnomes all the way back here, and much more recently you have like humans, and then you have the dragonborn.
Yeah.
So it could be anything from Discora, anything from Kino history.
They could be burbs. They could be
Any
Earthguards.
suggestions?
You would have to turn half of yourself into a snake and the other half not. How do I explain this?
Serpentine features, but very minor ones like yours, right?
From here down, and Ivoris is pointing like stomach area. His snake from here up is also snake, but kind of humanoid. Imagine if I had less fur and I'm like halfway there.
The
big, the big things happen at the last kind of stretch, but
the more I think on it, the more I think this might be a bad idea.
it's a horrible idea. That's why I don't like it.
It might be helpful when we get there, but I can't change my features to be one limb less.
Well, apparently I'm not in the plan making as it happens. Ivoris kind of like folds his arms.
Yeah, Greff is not meeting your eyes if you're burning a hole in his head.
But you are with a Yuan-ti. I could take you as prisoners. But that could only work so far as my lying can get me. And I can lie very well, but if they have a way to determine if I have emotion or not, I will immediately be found out.
There is a fourth person. The what you say her name? What you say their name was again?
Their name is Tari.
Tari. Maybe they know something?
I'm not going to meet them like this.
Why don't you take whatever form pleases you the most, makes you feel the most comfortable? We have to meet up with Tari still, and at that point we can make decisions, choices. Or do you not want Tari to know this?
I don't want people knowing what I am.
Yeah, I get that.
A lot of people are afraid of their horror stories that people tell about my type. Killing family members in the night, taking their place, pretending to be someone else close to you.
Yeah. I guess it is easy to tell lies about somebody with powers unknown to others.
They're not all lies. Kaz looks really like there's no real emotional expression on the face. Like you could tell that they look kind of downtrodden, like they might have had to do some things they probably regret.
Body language, like sagging shoulders, that kind of shit. Okay.
I think I have an idea. Kaz is going to start shifting and warping, and there's more of that cracking and ripping, and sitting in their place is a very young looking half elf, half drow.
Mm-hmm.
So shorter, stubby pointed ears. The skin's a bit lighter, like more of like a grayish purple tinge. Vibrant blue eyes. And let's say, let's go with black hair with just a single strand of green, because the strand of green is kind of his thing, their thing.
Okay.
There was a part of me that really wanted you to go as the book.
No. Because that would mean that if somebody else saw me as that person, they would probably want to fucking kill me. For different reasons.
What are you talking about? Everybody's going to want to meet up with you.
Okay, that's enough.
I don't know what kind of voice to do for this figure. Both me, Arch, as a voice actor, and me as a character, I don't know what to do for this character. I don't have time to sit in my car and talk to myself like a weirdo.
You have a week on the road, you think, from what the Traveler has told you. You have a week to workshop this.
Greff, how would you like to make another deal?
Okay.
I help you with the auntie. In turn, I want you to help me catch one.
Catch one?
You trust me, right?
Yes, with my life.
That's a loaded question.
Help me catch one. One of the big ones, the best ones. Whatever the most powerful one there is.
Okay.
Ivoris was still kind of locking eyes at Mara, and he kind of like turns over to see if you're kind of being real or if you're just goofing off.
Yes. Ivoris.
He gives a slight nod to you after some silence. Okay, then.
Out of character note, Greff is not asking why, because he didn't ask the gods for any explanation, and he feels he owes the Ivoris the same, courtesy. Just like, yes, just say yes. You walked into the deal that got Ivoris in this shithole. Walk yourself into another deal. Go ahead.
You've said yes. I mean, you're welcome to ask him.
I know.
Okay, so this is gonna be my voice for this figure. I'm gonna have to do a name though. What should I name this
Kith.
persona? Let's go with it then. My name's gonna be Kith.
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 Does your new form have a gender that is obvious?
So Kaz does prefer the male appearance.
Okay. But of course, when they are in disguise, are they?
Yes.
Yeah, I can respect that. I basically just wanted to know if I was supposed to keep calling them they, or if I was supposed to move to the gender of the appearance they have.
They or him works depending on what you'd like to do. The way that V and I kind of worked it out in terms of the changeling like societal structure is that when they come of age and gain their changeling abilities, they basically have a preference. So it's whatever they're most comfortable with is how they want everyone else to reference them.
All right.
So like as an example, in the backstory, there was one character that up until they came of age, they were initially what they considered female. But then once the change came about, they preferred to take on more of a male pronoun set.
Yeah.
You three are kind of outside the manor. I don't know whether you wanted to have moved inside or whether you're still having this conversation. But because of the activities that you have all gone through during this evening and all the talking, basically the sun is beginning to come up on day 46.
Oh, shit.
You cannot steal his swear.
I'm going to be swearing
My
if
poor
just how I
beautiful
do.
boy. It's my poor beautiful boy. You can't take his swear. It's the best swear.
I didn't get to sleep.
so the
I don't have spells.
The sun is beginning to come up as you kind of hit towards the end of a natural part of your conversation. What would you like to do?
I think Greff is advocating for getting our shit and moving on.
It's going to be a very long travel for us to get to this person.
7 days. And then however long to get to the UNT, to the world's forge. The forge of the world.
Right.
Should we steal a cart?
You don't just have one? You're like
Do
a
I
rich
just-
person.
That's a good question. I assumed I didn't.
Let me
Yes.
flip a coin.
Yes. Of course you fucking do. Along with at least one mysterious horse that turned up from your wild magic surges. Yes, you have a horse. And you have a cart.
I have a cart and I have a horse that doesn't like to be ridden as much, but is okay with back and forth from the town. Don't expect him to be friendly, but he's used to carts.
Kith tries to make friends with the horse.
No, it's a mean horse.
Yeah, it's a mean horse.
Kith tries to make friends
Just
with
has an
the
attitude.
horse.
You go for it. I mean, it's just one of those
His name is
kind of grumpy horses.
Slack.
What?
Note it. And his best friend Hissel.
No. Stop. You can't.
I can.
Don't.
So Lack and Hissel are the name of the two horses that you can have attached to this cart. Or you could just stick one.
You know,
Doesn't
the
matter.
one with attitude is the one that Ivoris usually takes to and from the manor, but doesn't let leave the town because it doesn't like long travels. It's just kind of a useless horse that likes to get out for exercise every now and then and deals with Ivoris because Ivoris is willing to let it out for exercise every now and then.
Wait, what happened to my horse,
But it
Taz
doesn't
the
like-
Indomitable?
Being ridden.
You guys left Taz the Indomitable and the other two horses outside the mines, the very northernmost entrance to the mines of Shovana.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not going back there.
no.
No, you're not going. The horses are long gone, buddy.
I know. I still have the note, Taz the Indomitable. No,
Such a good horse.
I miss Taz.
Perhaps we should get going then?
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. The three of you go to the manor. You get a horse. We'll call him Black, and he is a grumpy horse.
He's good.
And you get a cart.
I gather a bunch of mushrooms.
Gather a bunch of supplies. You'll be able to have enough at least for the journey for 7 days. So everyone could put down, let's say, 8 days worth of rations. That means that we don't have to break into anything. It means that when you finally begin your trek into the desert, you will have to survive on basically what Kaz manages to forage for you, and whatever your new companion may be able to forage for you. Are you good berrying?
I have good berry, and I can prepare, create, or destroy water, so we're fine.
We do have funds.
Exactly.
That we can buy rations with
Definitely.
and just like go to, wherever we need to go eating
now,
fine
man.
cheeses.
We're on the run. You can't just go into town and buy things anymore. People see your face. Well, I mean, I could change mine.
As you have this discussion about multiple funds and, all this good stuff, you see riding back through the gates on one of the horses is your butler.
Oh, shit.
And he looks like he's worried, concerned.
Ivoris also has a questionable look.
Yeah,
Curious
he kind of like... If a horse could drift or skid to a halt, that's what happens as he sees the three of you. He stops the horse, jumps off, and he looks at Ivoris, then looks to Kith.
Hi, I'm
and
new
looks
here.
back to Ivoris. Indeed. Master Ivoris,
You're back early.
I needed to... Yes.
What's wrong?
I actually came to give a warning about one of your companions. And he looks over at Greff and looks back at you.
Okay.
I safe to speak?
Should we go inside? Well, are we
Yeah,
inside? Should we go in another room?
If these two would be kind enough to give the young sir and myself a moment.
Of course, sir. And Greff does like a mock bow, but then he realizes Ivoris is really mad at him, so he just straightens up and walks away.
Okay.
He looks at you and he says, my lady wife and I agreed I should come find you. We're aware that you asked us to take a quick vacation while things were being transferred over as things were happening for you. As you know, I try to keep our lives separate from yours. However, I feel that you should know if you had not been told already. I hoped you would either be here or with young Master Baskin. Whatever you did in the capital, they have branded yourself, Greff, the drow that was here before, 2 goblins, another drow, a hobgoblin. You've all been branded assembly and are to be hunted down, but
There's
most
an eye roll
disturbing is that
from Ivoris.
I suspected you knew that as much, but unfortunately, I don't know if you know this, but Greff is not Kino, he's human. Kells has released pictures, drawings of what he is in his human form, and thus the treaty has been broken. There is a war between our 2 continents now.
Well, That's...
Indeed. I did not want you to be surprised, and I did not know exactly where you would be. I hoped you would in fact find out before I managed to find you, but you have always been good to us.
I don't know how they found out.
Kells apparently received some information from a spy that she has in Discora. And he revealed memories to her of Greff's transformation on an orc island.
That information is simply being used to put us at a war. By some very bad people. I don't know what we can do to stop that. but
I would urge you all to leave before you are found out. My lady wife, my son, and I are going to go into hiding. Unfortunately, because we have been associated with yourself and thusly with Greff, we are. But we have friends in places. We will be fine. We just wish for you to be fine also.
if anything comes around and you're able to play arrogant, do so. I won't suggest that I let the housekeepers in on any business.
Of course
and
not,
you
sir.
can simply go about as though Baskin were owner of the house. I don't think he has been in any trouble lately.
No. Of course, we keep our personal lives and our work life separate.
I'm sorry that this has happened to you. Do stay safe.
We will. We have kept the Assembly's secrets this long. I feel they probably owe us a favour or two. Good luck on your journey, Master Ivoris, and good luck to your 2 companions.
As to you.
He goes to bow, but he instead inclines his head, and he then basically takes off on the horse.
Yeah, I thought we were inside. Ivoris gives him a little pat on the back as he leaves. Kind of a more friendly thing that they're used to.
Yeah.
Okay, Ivoris will go back to find Greff and whoever you are now.
I think Greff is probably just like walked slightly around the corner and is just leaning up against the wall, just kind of thinking.
Chill.
Kith is probably just like in the other room, splayed out on the floor, like half asleep. I'm still on 6 HP.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be fine. Get over it.
Everything
As long as I
hurts.
don't attack you between now and your next rest point, you'll be totally fine.
Everything hurts.
All right, we need to leave.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Can I
Yes,
sleep
we
in
do.
the cart?
Yes, everyone in the cot.
Okay.
All right.
I was joking about. Well, I do want to make friends with the horse, but we'll deal with that later.
You have 7 days to workshop it with the horse.
I have speak with animals, and I could prepare animal friendship. Thank you. I'm a druid. If I can't make friends with the fucking horse, I'm a bad druid.
He's going to be the most asshole horse. You know this.
This is for no
Josh.
reason too. No, Neil just said to be at the very start of this that I was like, does Iris have a horse to travel back and forth from? And she was like, sure, Neil. And I was like, all right, but it's mean and it only likes me.
We'll see
and
about
now
that.
and now it's and now here it is.
Fucking charm that horse.
20 episodes later.
So good. So good. All right. I guess the 3 of you get in the cart.
Yep. I collect my shit from the banner and we get in a cart.
And you make your way 7 days to the south.
Yes. At which point Iris fills, while they're going, Iris fills everyone in that they're,
Fucked.
yeah.
Okay. We need to do one campsite chat, and that's when Greff's going to ask Ivoris about the UNT plan, because Greff can shut the fuck up for just maybe 28 hours, and then he has to ask.
You're not going to ask the god about the thing, are you?
No, I have not forgotten. I can't ask the gods. You don't question the gods.
What are you talking?
You do.
What are you talking about? I question them all
Apparently
the time.
Always question the god.
And you got...
Yeah, we highly encourage it.
Not all
got,
of them are great, Greff.
You know what? Out of character joke. And yeah, and you got excommunicated for your blasphemy. Like, you be quiet over there.
That's because they're closed-minded assholes.
Sorry. Again, out of character joke. Greff would not joke about that shit.
Okay.
I just realized I'm starting to sound like
if
Daffy
y'all are
Duck.
traveling If y'all are traveling south for 7 days, yes, you may hit your long rest
Oh, thank God.
buttons.
Thank you.
We'll do the campsite thing, and then I will do the thing that kind of wraps up the episode.
All
Actually, I have one more thing, and then I'll wrap up the episode.
Important question.
Yes.
Do we level up?
Yes.
Are we getting into a fight before the end of the episode?
No.
Okay.
All right, then I'm gonna sit on my level up. I think Greff has some meat out or something like that, and after a campfire started, he's just kind of grilling it, and eventually he just kind of... So, Ivoris,
Greff.
why do you want to capture the biggest, baddest UNT of them all?
Wait, what?
What's
Wait.
Trophy.
What?
And he goes back to eating.
Was I not paying attention? What? Why?
Ivoris asked me in return for leading you to the UNT that we would capture our UNT.
Okay.
And the bigger and badder, the better. That makes grammatical sense, yeah.
Okay.
So, Ivoris, why are we capturing a UNT?
He's starting to look a little uncomfortable.
Greff takes a good big fat bite out of his meat and chews it for like a solid minute and just lets the silence sit there.
Ugh. You jerk. I'm going to kill it. Surprise. You surprised.
Well, yeah, actually I am. Why
I thought
do
I
you want
wasn't
to...
going to kill it.
I thought you were going to capture it.
It's the first step. There are more steps.
What? Are you just looking to destabilize the UNT, or is there a reason for this?
He's kind of like giving Kaz like a look once more.
What? Why are you looking at me?
All of the things that I've done to look this way. Halfway between something that I am and halfway between something I'm not. If I make it all the way, I can turn back to how I would normally look now. I could hide much better. But you would have to trust that I would not be hiding for malicious intent. I'm going to sacrifice one of them in the way that they have gotten to where they are. I will be where they are. I will be one of them. And I will have that ability. Not as handy as being able to turn into whatever you want. Not going to help me in Discora. But it'll help me here. I could have whatever life I wanted after this. If I'm going to defeat the auntie, I'm gonna get something out of it. Something to the last fuck you, I guess. I don't know. Are you considering going back on the deal now?
No, absolutely not. I will capture you your UNT and you can do with him as you please, and I'll help you with whatever that is, too. Not a chance in Bella might break that deal. But, this is a dumb question coming from me, but did you run this by, Baskin? And Greff is definitely not looking at you when he says that. It's like, this is none of my business. I just want to ask.
I haven't seen Baskin since all of this. Why? Baskin trusts me. He would trust me as a more powerful Yanti just the same as he trusts me now. Right? A Yanti is a Yanti.
Yeah. And you are you.
I'm not ever going to not be a Yanti. I am just either a sore thumb in public, or I'm a little better hidden. I want that. I want that freedom. I want to talk to the gods now. I want that relationship back. I want power. I want to make a deal. I can get that. I can send the message that I want to send and get everything that Yanti have ever desired with a big fuck you attached to it. It's pretty great, I think, if it works. I would be proud of, well, not proud, but I'm certainly not proud of these transformations. And he kind of runs a hand over his kind of red arm and, his gestures to his teeth being a bit thinner than normal.
From what you've explained to me about UNT, over the years, you have to earn your transformation.
I used to make friends in the town nearby where we all lived. He kind of turns off his emotions so he can explain a bit. Kind of gets a very stone thing. There's a small town nearby where our place was at the edge of the desert. I would make friends there. I would learn things about normal life, as I would say, normal. And they would find out about my friends sooner or later, and they would have me kill them in a way that would empower me, so they would say.
And you did what they told you to because you had no choice?
I was told what I was. I was told that's what we do. I was told the whole time emotions were wrong. They skewed my judgment. I tried to hide them. I tried to fit in. I didn't know that this was an option. You must understand. Even the auntie with emotions don't get out into the world. Not after they've gone through transformations like I have. There are probably auntie in the city, probably a couple hundred. There are probably 2 for every 10 or so with emotion. But how many of those do you really think make it out of there? How many of those are welcome into the world after things that they've done? How many of them get out before they have done things at all? And if they do get out, and they don't have any transformations, sure, they could blend in. It's just few and far between.
Ivoris, did going through the transformations take away your or stunt or limit your emotions? Did you used to be more vivid?
No. Still the same. There was one Yanti at the camp that I was at that had emotions, but was rather cruel, actually. God of torture and all that. Quite enjoyed his job. Not all of them are good people. Bad people did actually become Yanti with all of their misdoings. I would still be very much the same. Just more powerful, more dangerous, I guess. Depending on who you ask, you would not be able to let anyone know. Baskin, of course, I would know. I would look completely different. I would look like a tabaxi. Like I should look, like I looked when I was young, before all of this. But I would also be something else.
I understand. I understand that you're sticking to look on the outside as you feel on the inside again. I don't know a lot about this. I don't understand this. And I just really, really hope that you're not sacrificing something from the inside to change the outside.
I think I'm at a place right now, Greff, where I have to figure out how to preserve what's on the inside. I don't even understand all that's going on with me. I'm bad at emotions. It kind of makes no sense to me, but here I am, and here these things are happening, and here are my feelings getting ever more present, and I'm unable to deal. That'll always be the case.
I'm sure that Baskin would love to help you through that.
Baskin knows he knows what abouts I've done. He knows that I don't like, he knows that I don't really like wearing all of the things that I am ashamed of on my shoulder like this.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask, I know.
Just be careful. Everything you've told me about the UNT, I fear their magic and their culture and what they are and what they do. And it sounds like you're going to be dabbling in it again. Just
not exactly. Before, my tributes were in the form of dreams and nightmares and such. Now, I have a different form of tribute. What we have been doing this whole time could be redeemed. The way it works is you do all of your worshipping the gods of torture and death and whatever not. You do your tributes, and then you do a more formal sacrifice, which is to redeem the tributes you made in between your last sacrifice. That determines how much power you are to receive. I intend to make an argument that I've done my fair share, and that I need help in order to help them. Any god, even the evil ones, need help right now.
I think I understand what you mean. Good. Let's get you that UNT.
I worry a bit about the deal I will have to make at the time, but, deal with it when the time comes. It seems like a good idea now, and it would make life after this easier. I could do politics.
Okay. The evening rolls around. First night on the road, second night on the road, whatever night after this conversation in particular. Ivoris, you fall asleep. As you dream, what are you dreaming of?
I'm not... I think he's dreaming about what was most nervous about recently. I think he's still kind of on that dream tick, which was Baskin's crew. I think he's kind of like trying to put in, like, he's kind of dreaming and making up Baskin's crew in his mind and like imagining this weird crew on a ship in his dream.
Yeah.
Some nonsensical thing,
Perfect.
but like, an old worry of his.
Yeah, you find yourself on a boat far out at sea. There is a small storm. It's not massive. It's enough so you're constantly wet. The crew members, because this is a strange dream, are a mixture of the Tabaxi Paladin and of Scamos. Baskin is far up on the deck, calling out commands, but every single one of these look at you, spit on the ground, and continue about with their work. They shout obscenities at you. They don't want you here. Nobody wants you here, apart from Baskin. The storm rages heavy, and there is a huge swell that hits the boat, and everybody goes sliding off. Every single person, except you. You keep your footing. And as the boat rights itself again, you see this large serpentine head rest itself on the deck. You can see the rest of its body just in and out of the waves. It has blackish, bluish scales, has bright, bright yellow eyes, mouth filled with a lot of sharp, pointy teeth, but in particular 4 big fangs.
Hello, my darling.
I recognize
Hi.
this.
Yes, you
Okay.
do. You recognise this to be Dendar. And she says,
Ah, my child. So you're ready for the final step. You have been most generous in your tributes. Thank you.
Are you real? What is going on?
Of course, I'm real.
and the storm rages, and you feel, as she calls down lightning upon the deck, you can feel that just jolt of electricity down one side of your shoulder, and you know that this is not a dream pain, this is real.
I can affect you however I like. Do not question me, youngling.
It's just been a while.
It has, and you were so promising. Your emotions made your tributes, beautiful morsels. And I hear you. I hear you when you say you're ready. Are you on tea, huh? The biggest, the strongest. And I heard what you said about helping even us darker gods with what is to come.
Well, you certainly can't die. That would bring about some mischief, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would indeed.
So you need help. I can see the future.
I know. And it has led to such wonderful nightmares on your behalf. You have kept me fed. And I also would appreciate your help, since the other two are so already entwined in this. Their nightmares are delicious too.
You want me to infiltrate their dreams?
Oh, nothing so mundane, darling. No. You want to honor me the best way you can. And I have something I want done. A tribute you wish to make this
And she kind of like wiggles her head round in like your direction.
change permanent.
What do you have in mind?
My children. My children who have been so loyal to me for so long.
They are a small stone in an ocean of nightmares. They don't care about you, and you don't care about them. Let's not kid ourselves. We knew about this at the start of our relationship. You know it about every Yonti that you've got.
Of course. But they were mine.
Of course. Now what can I do for you?
My children have turned their backs on the gifts I have so willingly bestowed upon them.
Well, they are kind of jerks, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Aren't they wonderful?
They are something.
They've turned their backs on me for this new power coming to destroy us all. And as much as I am so very grateful for the nightmares it gives, you have no idea, an entire world. I haven't been this full since, well, Ice Creant. But they've turned their backs on me, and there is one among their number that if you were to choose him as your tribute, then you would bestow much misery upon them all. To know that their strongest, their brightest, their most treacherous was taken down by, well, just one UNT and his 2 friends. 2 friends and potential new companion. If you do this, you take the one I point out to you when it comes to the time. I will gift upon you more than just changes. You know, you can make yourself look on the outside as a tabaxi as you are on the inside. I will give you other gifts as a thank you. I enjoy being fed, and my powers are, well, I say I don't need a champion or an avatar when they come.
Well, I'll assume that while this is all going on, I don't want to feed you too much. You don't require any dream nonsense from me, do you?
No. You cause nightmares. And you're correct. You are just a pebble in an ocean of an entire world that is drowning in nightmares. I have never been so happy and yet also so sad about our future. Because our future is oh so empty, and then I will starve. And I don't want that. So, do you agree to my proposal?
Point him out to me, and it will be done.
You help me, I help you.
She kind of like flicks her tongue forward and just touches the side of your shoulder. And you wake up, middle of the night, bolt upright, and you can feel a very sharp, intense pain on your shoulder. And as you look, for the briefest of moments, you see a bright purple glow in a rune, a shape, a magical icon that you've never seen before, and then it disappears.
Whew.
You can level up now.
Y'all over here making deals with gods. Have you guys tried just being friends with them?
I mean, on T. That's what we do.
But like, make friends with them.
Business. Numbers.
This whole doing deals and making friends with God. No, you just do what you're told, dude. And if the god decides to not smite you, you say thank you.
All you want
make
in
friends
life
with
is
them.
for the gods to make your life better and then to step out of the way and let you live it, man. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
You don't want them interfering all the time. That gets messy and stressful. Ugh.
I like the different takes everybody has on the gods.
I love it. The gods are just assholes, man. Like,
No, we're
for the
friends.
most part.
They're either dead or
For the
they're
most part,
assholes.
gods are assholes.
Sabass was the only good one.
You guys travel for another 6 days south. Kith. Kith, you remember that the traveller told you to head inwards after day 7?
Yep.
As you head inwards past the trees, it's very obvious that you are heading back towards the waste of Tsumu, the desert right at the centre of Kino. You become aware as you get to the edge of the tree line, just on the very edge of the desert, that there is a small humanoid figure making its way also through the trees, using as much of the shade as they can before they have to venture into the bright sun. You see a tabaxi. They are like a mountain lion in the face with bobcat stripes. Fur is mostly brown with small streaks of grey. Perhaps from aging, perhaps just a natural part of their pattern, you don't know. They're wearing crude leather armour with traces of fur in places. They have bracelets and necklaces made of beads and of possibly pieces of bone. From this distance you can't quite tell, but you can see the faint clatter, the reflection of the light. They're wearing a very long cloak. But what's really noticeable about this tabaxi woman is that she has bands of different coloured cloth wrapped around her arm, at odds with the rest of her brownish, yellowish attire and her fur. You also notice that as she steps into the rocks, as you see the sun, as you see her in kind of silhouette from behind, that there is a small, furry, long-eared creature that seems to be following in her footsteps. So this was a somewhat RP-heavy episode compared to the explosive former episodes. This was a big one, and I'm really proud of what everyone did. Hopefully, Azed and Jankiso make it over to Discora, because it means I can torment the rest of the cast, or torment the rest of the players, the characters over in Discora. I'm looking forward to that a lot. So yeah, that'll be pretty rad. I'm very excited for that. This was Kino 20. We should be having a new character appear, which I teased at the very end here. So the next episode should, in theory, be a new backstory, played by someone very near and dear to my heart, and Igwat Foe on who that is. So I want to say thank you to Ratstring, who gave us the name Jurid. Jurid has also, I think, appeared or might be appearing in Discora because I fucked up. But the name is Baller, so thank you so much, Ratstring, for that. If you want to help the show out, then you could possibly consider becoming a patron if you're able, like Ratstring. It really helps support the show, and it keeps us ticking, and it's actually why we have Kino to start with. It's thanks to Patreon support that we have a side campaign running. Oh, wow. This was a big episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.